Hey guys, what's going on? So, as you probably know, E3 is going on, and there's been a lot of amazing trailers, but The Legend of Zelda is my favorite video game series, and they released a trailer for the new Legend of Zelda. And oh my gosh, in simple words, it's freaking awesome. And I'm just going to show you some things that I noticed in the trailer. So, yeah, let's get this started. Okay, so to start us off, a pretty drastic change from regular Legend of Zelda is the emphasis on weapons and armor, like newer weapons and newer armors. Because, you know, normally Link will have like a suit that he starts off with at the beginning of the game, which, by the way, I think is this one right here. I'm pretty sure this is what Link is going to look like at the start of the game. This just, you know, regular white shirt, but he's got a lot of weapons, but it just looks too plain to me to be anything else, especially from what else we've seen. But that's not all. He also has like a snow outfit that you can barely tell a difference of from his regular outfit, which I guess he's going to wear when he goes to the snow, obviously. And then he has a more armored suit, and that looks pretty cool. Like, that's a pretty drastic change from regular Legend of Zelda, where he'll have like I think the furthest they've ever gone is in Twilight Princess with the like underwater suits and that one suit you got where it was all about rubies. I can't remember what it was called. Magic armor, I think. And yeah, so that looks like it's gonna the different suits might have different effects, or maybe depending on what region you're in, it'll change what your suit looks like. Then we also have new weapons, because typically Link is a sword and shield kind of guy, and then he'll have items. Items and weapons are different, because it seems that he's using new weapons in this game. Like, there's that part with the spear, where he fights that guy on a bridge with the spear, and then there's a brief glimpse of another weapon that looks like a weird, like, serrated sword thing, and then his axe, which he can also use to cut down trees. And it's a pretty drastic change from regular Legend of Zelda, that at least the ones I've played, that you're going to have different weapons that don't look like they're items per se, but like actual whole new weapons on their own. And then of course the big, I guess the big item that or piece of equipment that they showed in this trailer is this weird pouch Link has. And if you take a careful look at it, you'll notice it has a logo on it, or like an emblem on it, that looks a lot like the Lens of Truth from Ocarina of Time. And I'm sure that's probably going to play into it at some point. Okay, then another big drastic change is wildlife. There's always been wildlife in Legend of Zelda. You know, you'll see birds and there'll be fish from time to time. But in this game, the wildlife looks to have like a whole big new like emphasis on it. Like, you see the part with the deer running through, and where Link is hunting that wild boar, and the ducks and all the different things like that. And you even see him cooking for a minute, like almost like Monster Hunter. And it makes me wonder if the stamina in this game is going to be different, where it's not so much a potion and more that, okay, you're running out of stamina, go and hunt that deer, cook it up, and now your stamina is replenished. And since we're talking about creatures, we have to talk about the new enemies. The enemies in this game are looking pretty crazy. Like, some of them look like variations of regular enemies we've seen before. And then there's, of course, the weird octopus robot thing. And something that a lot of people, I think, are missing out on towards the beginning of the trailer, where it shows all the different landscapes, is this giant skeleton thing that's like stomping through the woods. And I mean, if that's a regular enemy, it actually tells us a lot about this new Legend of Zelda, where instead of us constantly fighting things that are about our size or smaller, and then we fight this big boss, what if instead regular enemy encounters are going to be much different, where we might be fighting a giant one time at some point, we're having to cut through them and cut the different body part things off of them, kind of like Shadows of Colossus. I don't know, like, ugh. I mean, I'm excited, but I'm a little worried about the enemies too, because that means it'll be tougher for old Zaltrax to beat them. Okay, the next thing that this trailer showed us is this world that it's inhabiting. It left a lot of mysteries, but you can kind of get a good lay of the land, where it looks like it's almost like an undiscovered country, except for you'll notice like ruins from time to time. And it makes me think that this might be and I know a lot of people don't like to talk about the Legend of Zelda timeline, but this might be the furthest game in the timeline, because this looks like the world we know has been like ruined and destroyed, and this is it slowly coming back. because there's such an emphasis on the wildlife. And there are people in the, like, it seems that there are like NPCs, like regular citizens, because there's even a part when Link chops down that tree that you see a guy sitting there chopping down a tree as well. So it's obvious that this world is inhabited, but it looks like it's been through a great war or something like that. And then of course we might be witnessing that, or part of that, and that part where it shows Link look at the castle and like it looks like it's being destroyed by something or wrapped around by something. And I mean, for all we know, this might not even be Hyrule. This might be somewhere else. So I'm guessing this is either a new land entirely, or this is Hyrule like after a great catastrophe. And then another big thing that makes me think it's furthest in the timeline is the Master Sword. This was a big reveal in the trailer, and I mean, I don't know if that's mud or rust, but it looks like it's it's got like chunks out of it and it's rusted, and that, I mean, it's not like the pristine Master Sword we're used to. So could this have been a world where even the magic faded away for a little while and the Master Sword was left kind of in ruin? And I mean, I don't know. I'm really interested to see where this all falls into place in this game. And then, of course, the biggest question on my mind the whole time I was watching this trailer, where is the green? Where is Link's green outfit? We got so many outfits in this game, and we didn't get a single shred of a hint of that green tunic. Please include it in the game. I've heard rumors that that blue outfit is going to be his main one, but please don't do that to us. And don't do something where it's like, okay, you play through the entire game in this tunic, and then the last battle you are like, oh, you have the soul of the hero now. Bam, here's the completed Master Sword. Bam, here's the shield. Bam, here's the green tunic. Now go and fight Ganondorf. Please don't do that. Like, I want to have a good amount of time in that green tunic, but it looks more and more like that's not going to be the case because they are showing such a focus on other outfits. Unless, I mean, I don't know. For all we know, they might like tint the blue a little bit, and then turns out that blue is green the whole time. But even still, I mean, come on, you gotta have the hat. The ponytail is cool, you gotta have the hat. Another thing about the wildlife is it shows a part where Link like is sneaking up on a horse and he jumps on top of it. Now, are we supposed to assume here that there's not going to be like a companion like in Skyward Sword or Ocarina of Time or Wind Waker, where we had like a set mount that has its own name and like its own part in the story? Like, instead, is this just going to be like oh, you think that horse looks good, go jump on it and tame it and whatever, like Red Dead Redemption style? I really hope that's not the case, but I mean, it could be cool. Okay guys, now that's the things I noticed in the new trailer for Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. And as a title, I think Breath of the Wild is pretty cool, and especially like how it shows that flower bloom or whatever. I think that adds to my theory that maybe this is a world that is slowly coming back, like it's blooming again. Like something horrible has happened to it, but the hope has found its way back out. Comment down below your thoughts on the trailer for Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. And I know you might be sad because you probably wanted that green tunic too, or at least I hope you did. And maybe we'll see it in a later video. Cheers!